we're gonna watch this video. I don't know exactly why, but I think people have been talking about it. But this is what Zohran Mamdani posted on tax day yesterday. So we're gonna see what he has to say real quick, and then there's an analysis that I want to watch after that, or maybe not an analysis, but like a policy position from the Hill, I think, that I want to watch after that.
When I ran for mayor, I said I was going to tax the rich. Well, today, we're taxing the rich. I'm thrilled to announce we've secured a pied-à-terre tax, the first in New York's history. This is an annual fee on luxury properties worth more than $5 million, whose owners do not live full-time in the city. Like for this penthouse, which hedge fund CEO Ken Griffin bought for $238 million. This pied-à-terre tax is specifically designed for the richest of the rich, those who store their wealth in New York City real estate, but who don't actually live here. But even
hell yeah, awesome, that's rad. Yeah, more places should do that. People who don't live there and just hold on to these things as assets. Yeah, go ahead, tax the hell out of them. I would raise it even higher. Make them, you know, if they don't want to keep it, if it's too expensive for them, they can always get rid of it. They can always sell it, turn it into a bunch of you know, a bunch of rentals or whatever, right? Or a bunch of condos, who knows? But yeah.
So they're able to reap the huge financial rewards of owning property in, dare I say, the greatest city in the world. And most of the time, these units are sitting empty, since again, they don't actually live here. This is a fundamentally unfair system that hurts working New Yorkers. Now, it's coming to an end. This tax will raise at least $500 million directly for the city. It'll help fund things like free childcare, cleaner streets, and safer neighborhoods. As mayor, I believe everyone has a role to play in contributing to our city, and some a little bit more than others. Happy Tax Day, New York.
Nice. Brad, I love it. Let's go ahead and watch this next one. So I think this is going to be an analysis. This is by The Hill. The Hill, I mean, it's like basically just like a Republican network, if I had to guess. So I'm going to guess they don't have the best thoughts about this home tax or second home tax, but we're going to watch this video. I got to use the bathroom real quick, but I'm going to let it start playing while I go. This is Zohran Mamdani teams up with Governor Hochul on New York City's second home tax rising. Let's go ahead and watch.
When I ran for mayor, I said I was going to tax the rich. Well, today, we're taxing the rich.
Oh, God. New York Governor Kathy Hochul and Mayor Zohran Mamdani have proposed a pied-à-terre tax on second homes in their pledge to tax the rich.
I like the tap on the glass. The tax would apply to those who own homes valued above $5 million in New York City, Robbie, but do not reside there permanently. It's projected that this would bring in over $500 million annually. Let's take a listen.
This pied-à-terre tax is specifically designed for the richest of the rich, those who store their wealth in New York City real estate, but who don't actually live here. But even so, they're able to reap the huge financial rewards of owning property in, dare I say, the greatest city in the world. And most of the time, these units are sitting empty, since again, they don't actually live here. This is a fundamentally unfair system that hurts working New Yorkers. Now, it's coming to an end.
This received mixed reactions online. Author Clay Travis wrote on X, every time New York, California...
In case people were curious if I actually pre-watch videos or not, this should be evidence that I do not, because I did not know that they were just going to essentially play the parts of the video that I just watched, which is why I watched it first. So there you go, people. There you go. There's your evidence. But yeah, let's see what Clay Travis has to say. I'm sure there's all the most annoying rich people are going to be really mad about this, I'm sure. So let's go ahead and listen to all of them bitch and moan.
This received mixed reactions online. Author Clay Travis wrote on X, every time New York, California, and Illinois raise taxes, more wealthy people, the ones actually paying the taxes, leave for Tennessee, Texas, and Florida, making those red state tax bases stronger and weakening the blue state tax bases. Huge transfer.
Not true. That's just not true. I mean, sure, some people do. But especially when it comes to New York, most people want to stay in New York. And they all of those people, we already heard this. We already heard this when Zohran was getting elected, that every billionaire was going to flee, everybody was going to leave, and there would be no more money left in New York. Has that happened? Has it happened? Where are they? They're still there? Oh, yeah. Because that didn't happen. Like, and for the record, the people who are leaving from Tennessee or from California, primarily from California, to go to Florida or Texas, the people who do that are they essentially go to the most liberal parts of these areas, like in Texas, like Austin or whatever. And then they just make it all worse. They make everybody's lives worse. They're basically they start screwing over the citizens who used to who lived there before, raising all of their taxes and then getting more tax breaks, doing like developments that the people in the community don't want, transforming the politics and the general power structures of the city councils and all that sort of like local politics stuff. They basically just make everybody who lived there originally hate living there. Like they make everybody's lives worse when they whenever they do actually leave and go to these other states. So yeah, I'm hoping that none of these fucking billionaires, if they do flee New York, I'm gonna be out. Like if they try to come to St. Louis, I'm gonna be like, fuck no, I am not having a fucking billionaire come here and fundamentally change the way this city that I love is or whatever. Like get the fuck out of here. I would be out there like, I don't know, I'd be going all Luigi on them, if you know what I'm saying. Maybe not that hard, but I would be really mad if they tried to move here and make St. Louis into something like Texas or Florida is right now.
Transformation underway here.
And Californian Representative Ro Khanna said, if NYC had been good to you, you can do good for NYC. Thanks, Zohran Mamdani, for taxing the ultra wealthy to pay for childcare, free buses, and housing for millions of New Yorkers. What a novelty to deliver on a campaign promise.
Hell yeah.
Mamdani is getting to work, okay? Filling in them potholes, taxing folks. You're so riled up. Are you the people?
He is so mad. Dude, this dude looks like a little dweeb too.
People that he's taxing? Because he's taxing.
He looks like, dude, okay. I went to college and we had a Young Republicans club. This is what every single one of them looked like. I swear to God. Every single one of them looked as dorky and dweeby as this little dude right here.
Potholes, taxing folks. You're so riled up. Are you the people that he's taxing? Because he's taxing people that have a second home worth $5 million in New York City that usually are not there for most of the year. So they leave it unoccupied, which might be an incentive for them to try to rent it out or create more economic flow in New York City. Instead
if
of
they're not living there, they're probably renting it out.
No, they're parking their money there. These things run unoccupied for the most part. And he's like, instead of using NYC as a place to park your...
He literally said it in the ad. The vast majority of them are unoccupied. They're just, they're held as assets. And like one of the things that I hate the most is that we treat homes at all like an asset. People should not be able to just, like companies should not be able to buy like hundreds of houses and just like hold them empty for like decades to then flip when the housing market goes up, like that's like immoral that we even allow that. That is I don't know. It's terrible. It's an immoral system that we have that should be changed.
Your money and know that the real estate...
It belongs to them. They own it.
The real estate will keep rising, so you benefit from New York. Well, just pay your fair share of park your money taxes then, basically.
They're paying...
This will cover so many things. Schools. Do you care about the police? You do. You don't want to defund them. This will fund them even more. This will fund services in the police department. This will fund parks.
Pay free childcare, which I utterly oppose.
This will fix those budget gaps.
He's evil. He sounds like a fucking comic book villain. My God, all these people who are so like pro like the worst aspects of capitalism 24/7. They're so ideologically committed to capitalism that they can't even mildly critique its flaws, such as allowing houses to be used as assets. Makes me so annoyed. I can't stand listening to people like this. And like I said, they just sound like comic book villains when you actually like force them to explain their opinions.
He's talking about as he started to cut things out.
Like,
That
oh, childcare. I hate free childcare. I hate free meals for kids too. Kids should starve. We should just starve the kids. Why should they get anything? Just starve the kids already. Like, that's what they sound like.
other mayors messed up royally. I think Mamdani is suggesting, first of all, he has a great personality and he's suggesting a good idea. He's saying, like, listen, if you have your second home in New York and you are gaining income every time the prices go way up here, perhaps you can give a little back in taxes since New York you love so much. Love it. It wants you to love it back so that people can afford to live here that are not ultra wealthy and can't have
The
the
idea
second
that
$5
the
million
rich do
home.
not pay their fair share is this socialist progressive canard. It's not true. They
Whoa. Wealth inequality is worse than it has ever been. What are you talking about? The rich are paying the rich are paying essentially zero taxes. They're paying like 0% taxes. You, as a worker out there, pay significantly more percent of your income, of your money, of your wealth to taxes than billionaires do. They pay essentially 0% taxes, all of them. Okay, I want that to be very clear to everybody out there, is that they pay 0% taxes while you're paying what, 25, 30% taxes of your wealth, or like at least of your income. But if you want to, but your income is primarily where all of your wealth comes from. So in most cases, your income is directly proportional to your wealth, but they're paying essentially 0%. So that's the difference. They don't pay any taxes. We pay all the taxes.
pay far more than their fair share
Nope.
because the
Wrong.
lower quadrant of income earners don't pay any taxes to speak of whatsoever. They pay.
Wrong.
They're paying
Wrong,
what,
wrong.
50? He wants 52% of their income they're going to pay. Now, look, if I'm being
Should be
totally
higher.
honest and in complete fairness, of all the tax schemes,
Like, here, also, let's just look at one sec. Oh my gosh. Why is it so hard to find the graphs that I want? God, it's so hard. I want like one that goes back to like way. I was hoping to go back even further than this, but oh, here's one. No, that's not it. Ah, man. Sorry about this, people. I was hoping to find something quickly, and it's taken longer than I wanted, but like this is where it is right now, right? 62, I assume, is like, you know, the start of the post World War II era or whatever, after the Great Depression and all that, which was in like the what, 40s, or when was the Great Depression again? 40s into World War II. This is like post that or whatever. I think if you went back to like the Gilded Age, you would see as well, but like the share of American wealth owned by the top 1% versus bottom 90%. This is what this is what our system has generated. And this is why people feel like they don't have enough money anymore. It's because all of our money has been getting slowly but surely siphoned up to the 1%, to the ultra rich, to the billionaires. They have more wealth than they could ever dream of right now, and I think they even have more than they did back in the Gilded Age, which was like the 20s. This graph doesn't go back that far, but I think even back then, they had less. There was less wealth inequality back then than there is now. So yeah, we need a radical redistribution of wealth if we want to have a functional society. So those are, and to this guy right here, this little dweeb, you have two options here, okay? There's two options. You either force these people through taxes to pay more of their money and redistribute the wealth, like radically redistribute the wealth towards the working class, or you get a revolution where people just seize the means of production and take it all from you guys by force, like at the barrel of a gun. Those are your two options. And that's always been the two options. It's, you know, I have a feeling the arrogance of the capitalist class, which way it's going to end up going. But we'll see. We'll see. The last time that there was a huge wealth inequality in the Gilded Age, we got FDR, where the socialists and the communists banded together to work with social democrats to twist business and capital owners' arms into allowing FDR to pass Social Security and Medicaid, and Medicare, because they were not going to allow FDR. The capitalist class was not going to allow FDR to create those two systems of wealth redistribution and a social welfare. They were not going to allow him to do that. But he went and told them, hey, if you don't do this, there's nothing we can do. There's just going to be revolution, and the people are going to seize all of this, all of your wealth for themselves, like with arms. Like, so that's what he went and told the business owners. And he said, if you don't pay this essentially anti-revolution tax, you're going to be pushed, they're going to take it by force. So those are the two options you have, you dweeby little motherfucker. Okay. So pick whichever one you want. I don't really care which one it is. But those are the two options. So good luck. Good luck to you.
Schemes there are. I'm against taxes universally. I want to lower all taxes for everyone at all times. Property taxes is...
The reason I say fuck you is because he's just pro austerity. He wants lower and middle class people to pick up the slack of rich people not paying anything in taxes. Like I said, they pay 0% of their wealth in taxes. 0%. We pay 20 to 30%. They pay 0%. That's the difference.
A relatively preferred method of taxation from my standpoint.
Okay.
So the ranking tax schemes. Bad is income tax. Income tax I want reduced to nothing for everyone. We shouldn't tax people.
Austerity.
Trying to make...
It's austerity. He just wants austerity. He wants you to pay for your soda. Like you want to go out and get a big gulp, big quick trip that costs like $1.50. He wants you to pay an extra $3 of taxes on that big gulp. And the rich people, yeah, they'll also have to go out and pay $3 on that $1.50 big gulp in terms of taxes. But that means like nothing to them. So yeah, that's just austerity.
Trying to earn money, trying to work productively to grow the economy, you're punishing that. Anything you tax, you get less of. So if you tax income, people work less. It's just a fact. Stupid thing to tax. We don't want to punish people for being productive. Property tax is in the middle. I don't want property tax because I just don't want taxes at all. But there's a finite amount of property.
And also the thing that's funny about these guys is when America's system of borrowing unlimited amounts of money from China in order to fund all of its foreign wars inevitably collapses in on itself, like the $40 trillion in debt that we are right now. Like, how the fuck do you guys want to fund all of your wars abroad? Like, how do you want to fund your $1.5 trillion military budget? Like, what the fuck are you going to do if you can't borrow for that? There's nothing you could possibly do. You could not, I don't even think that we could just like bring taxes up enough to fund like the foreign interventions that we are currently doing and the military industrial complex that we pay ungodly heaps of money to. I just straight up don't think it's possible that we could like raise the taxes, like raise the funds for that internally, like with the current, with taxes without people getting really mad. Like you would have to do a wealth tax if you ever wanted to fund the military in that way. You would see really quick these people turn around or not turn around, but like turn on militarism abroad if they had to actually be taxed in order to fund these foreign wars.
Property, much of it is already owned. The value of that goes up automatically as there's more competition. The government puts artificial caps on developing more housing that rewards people who already have it. So given that the government's doing that, again, I would solve this problem by removing basically all impediments to more development. Height caps, zoning laws, all of that.
What would that do though? Under the current system, like, yes, okay, you can produce more houses. However, people are still just going to buy them up as assets. It doesn't change the fundamental problem. Like we built a ton of houses back in the day, and like what, like, it's a crazy amount of houses in America are just sitting unoccupied. It's like 20 to 30% or something. Like, it's an insane amount of houses that are already built and are just sitting unoccupied. Let me see if I can find an actual stat. Percentage of homes sitting unoccupied. Okay, sorry. I was a little bit high. 10% is what Google AI tells me. So take it with a grain of salt. But 10% of houses are completely unoccupied. That's 10% of the supply is essentially out there, ready to be rented, ready to have a person or a family live in them, that are just being hoarded. Do you really think if you build a shit ton more houses that it's not going to still maintain, like, that these giant corporations and special interest groups aren't going to just go in and buy them all and hoard them as well and keep them from going out to bring down the prices of the housing market? It's ridiculous.
Nonsense that helps entrench these people in their mansions. But if we're not doing that, raising property tax a little bit actually doesn't bother me. And then the best preferred method of taxation from my standpoint is sales tax. It's
austerity. Exactly. He just wants you to pay a significant higher portion of your income to taxes, while the wealthy pay 0%, like even less than 0%, honestly, if they did that. Like, it's, I don't know. These people are so annoying. I'm getting too annoyed. I gotta move on, people. I'm sorry. I'm getting too annoyed. This dweeby little loser and his pink fucking tie, man, I just knew somebody who looked just like this in college, who was a young Republican, and they were so fucking annoying. I hope they never find this video, but they were so annoying. And yeah, I don't know. I just want to go give them a noogie.